everybody, and welcome to ProgressCast, featuring
Dennis, username Kizunami.
Jacob, username STVN0003.
with Patt, username PattTheoryST, and the Internet. Welcome to the first episode of ProgressCast featuring the Internet. Some things I would like to get clear before we move on is this is my first project in this kind of thing, although I have had experience in a few podcasts before. What's special about this is ProgressCast will be a podcast where I talk about slightly more serious stuff in terms of progressive concepts, issues, and solutions. However, ProgressCast featuring the Internet will be the more comedy-oriented chit-chat kind of podcasts with more friends. This time, my two friends here, who I've known for a long time, but first time they're meeting each other and stuff, and they've been getting along with each other the whole day. Say hi, guys.
Hello, world.
Hello, it's Jacob.
Also, these will be posted on YouTube, on Tumblr, and on Soundcloud. So, we were talking for a while and getting our topics together for some things we could hit up, and we got talking about our three different schools and their anime clubs, and I have dubbed Dennis and, well, not so much Dennis, but more Jacob's anime club as Mystery Anime Club 3000.
Guilty.
Would you like to explain what the hell's going on in your school?
Okay, so at my anime club, which is pretty big, we have a very, very terrible person in charge. And we watch the worst animes you have ever seen.
Oh my god, this is going to be good.
It's terrible, and we watch like the most hipsterest animes, like animes that we had never heard of, animes with the poorest animation. One of an example was an anime we watched that there was these people on a cruise ship, and they had to use rock, paper, scissors. It was incredibly weird. I can't even remember what it was called, and I never heard of it. And another anime that we watched that was really bad, it was 4-minute long episodes, kind of like Italia, but it was not as good as Italia. Which is called Pupa, and it was terrible.
Oh my god. What does Pupa mean in Japanese?
I have no clue. But it's basically the story of these two characters. It's based off this really good manga. It's a horror manga. But it's nothing like that. The story is rushed. I don't even know what the plot is most of the time. Apparently this boy and a girl turn into like monsters. Or something.
My god.
So I did a little bit of research, and apparently the one with the cruise ship and rock, paper, scissors, that one's called Kaiji. It was a manga at first, and then it was made anime.
Wait, in that anime, they have like long noses.
Oh yeah. Let me send you like a screenshot. It's
absolutely
hilarious.
We should have a dump where I put this on now.
It's so bad.
That's it. That's right there. In the anime, their noses are that long. Everyone's noses are that long.
It's really weird.
It's terribly animated. Looks
That's
like
pretty bad.
It was made in 2002, but it looks like 1980 something.
Oh boy. Oh, that's like a... Is he trying to be a rock star or something?
No! Not at all!
Just really bad.
He's a gambler.
So what's funny is you call these hipster animes, yet they're copying everything they do. Which the whole point of being a hipster is to have done it before it was cool. Yeah.
More like you haven't ever heard of it. Nobody's ever heard of it. That's the concept of being a hipster
not
anime.
being mainstream.
We never ever watched a mainstream anime. The only anime that we've gone close to mainstream was this anime. I'm trying to remember what it was called. This anime where like puzzles were everything. I can't remember.
Right, that's too obscure. That's very obscure.
Whoa, fucking cool.
And this guy had this like golden thing that would dang it, I'm trying to remember.
Researchers discover a giant four-winged dinosaur bird. Cool.
Wait.
Huh.
So I was at Anime Boston, like, just still on the topic of bad anime. I was at Anime Boston, and we went to a panel called Bad Anime Bad. And basically, it's pretty much the title. They just show you bad anime, and we all laugh at it. Like, it's a giant crowd of people. It's actually the biggest crowd yet, and it was hilarious. They showed us anime called Garzy's Wing. Garzy's Wing. It is absolute trash. They managed to get 3 episodes before shutting down, and the subs are the voice actors are terrible. The animation is trash. Everything is really bad about it. Nothing makes any sense. You'd have to watch it like several times to understand what the hell is even going on. Because the thing is, the main character lives in 2 different realities, and
this is gonna be good.
it's really obscure.
Wait, so
None of
playing
the
a
things make
platformer?
any sense. Like,
He's playing Mario 2?
like there's the main character in real life and the main character in the Garzy's Wing realm, and apparently like it switches between the 2 without any
Yep, that's a recipe for
warning.
disaster.
And it's really hard to understand what's going on. They even make up words like it. A lot of it sounds like gibberish. The freaking the director who sent the English dubs to be made, he said that they could just do whatever they wanted because this anime was like absolute failure. It was so bad. Like,
Did they mess up the dubs too?
Yeah, there's the dubs, and basically they said they could just do whatever they wanted.
It's hilarious.
With the anime. It's absolute trash.
They just leave in bloopers. It's like, guys, we need to go. Okay. Take 2. No, we don't have time for takes. Okay, keep rolling.
So I remember the anime that was the closest anime we ever watched to mainstream. It was this anime called Phi Brain, Phi space brain. And it's just, it's basically this anime where they solve puzzles, and that was the closest thing we ever got to mainstream, and even then we never heard of it.
Oh wow, I got a 7.2 out of 10 on a freaking television series ratings.
Yeah, but
if they're calling anime TV, then I think that's the problem.
It was alright, and I actually watched a couple of episodes outside the anime club. And since in the anime club we only watched like 1 episode of the anime and we're done with it.
Yeah, that's how mine went. We basically just watched we watched the first episode, and then we went to the next one next week. Because we had something called Activity Day which was like 45 minutes during the school day on Wednesdays. And
what the fuck?
Like that's how we met up and stuff like that, and we were able to watch anime for like first 30 minutes. And our club leader, she was the club leader since she was a freshman year, but when I was last year when I was in the club, she was a senior, so basically she and her club were pretty much done with watching all the serious and cool and good anime, so they basically dedicated this year to all the bad and horrible anime. But there were a few decent ones, and they actually played Attack on Titan as the first day, the first time we had activity block. But the freshmen only got to see it like the second half of it because we had freshman orientation, and they fucking took us away from our activity block until the second half. So, boo-hoo.
Sorry.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it sucked.
So,
I have another story.
Oh, okay, yeah.
At my anime club. One
By the way,
time...
this is totally not an anime podcast. This is just
It's
the
not.
good tangent.
Yeah, it's
talking
not.
about it.
We just thought this was a better topic.
I've seen 3 animes.
Animes.
Oh,
I've seen...
Is it plural like that?
I watched pretty
it's
much
not.
every
It's
anime
not
that's recommended to me.
No, I'm saying
Not
like is it one of
animes.
those,
It's
is
just
it like
anime.
here?
Anime is plural
Okay,
and singular.
Anyway, so this story is, one time we finally got the president to finally, like, we asked him, can we please watch Sword Art Online? He said, I'll look at it tonight and we'll decide tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning, we watched Poopa. And we asked what happened to Sword Art Online. He said, oh, that anime was terrible.
What?
And I was like, you're joking, right?
Guy is like broken
Trolling
judgment.
you.
Sword
I
Art
could've
Online was
sworn
really good.
The next day,
He's
everybody
totally
wanted to
trolling you.
leave.
One
And
just
then,
joke.
and then they shut it down and say it was their choice.
Didn't
Yeah,
happen.
we
It
did watch
never
Sword Art
happened in the
Online
end,
this
and
year.
for some reason, the club went till the end of the year.
We watched like Sword Art Online this year and Madoka Magica, and
Magica is
a few.
awesome.
We actually watched Free too, which was pretty hilarious. I love that. It was, we all made fun of Free. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, so, I only joined my anime club because a friend of mine got me back into card games and stuff, got me into Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I'm now no longer into. But he got me into it for a while, and we did it at his anime club. And I was hesitant at first because the only member I had of the anime club before that year was either in my freshman or sophomore year. I joined in my junior year. In my freshman or sophomore year, the only time I ever saw into a room where anime club was going on, it was in our large group instruction room, the LGI, where we have a big projector screen, and that's where they do like all sorts of stuff. And they had access to it for some reason, or they just hijacked the room, and they were watching something. I was waiting because my freshman year I used to wait around after school almost every day and just dick around. And I met a bunch of weird people doing that. And one time I was walking around in the lobby and I looked into the LGI because I was like, oh, what's going on there? I hear some music. And all the lights are off. I can see the back of the heads of like 3 or 4 people. Maybe there are like 8 in there at maximum. And I just see on the gigantic screen, they were all sitting underneath it practically. It was the, not that there's anything wrong with liking this, but the way they watched it was kind of religious. It was, the hologram concert for Miku.
Oh yeah, the hologram concert for Tatsune Miku. I used to be into it.
I thought
like
Miku
when I was in
Hatsune,
6th
huh.
grade, which was
Yeah, and
4
this
years
was
ago.
fucking 2 or 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago at max, 1 year ago at minimum. And, well, not really since the summer, but that's the only memory I had of the place.
I never really wanted to join any clubs at all because I wasn't a very social human being. But like my
Tell me
friend
about it.
kind of forced me into the club because I really needed to copy his homework, and he's like, I'll only give you the homework. This is the only one time I've ever copied anyone's homework. But he's like, I'll give you the homework, but I have to sign up for the anime club. And I was like, fine. And basically that's how I got in. I was not willing to do it at first, but that's just like all risks, you know? So, yeah,
Well, basically-
I'm glad he did that.
Yeah.
He was a good friend.
You all had some issues with your leaders of the club. With me, the leader changed the year I got into it. And how my school works is you have to have a club active for 1 year before it can be an official club and get announced on the morning announcements and stuff. Oh god, it was on the mic. Anyway.
My clubs were managed. The club at my school couldn't be done unless it was by a senior, which was entirely stupid.
Makes no sense.
I don't understand it. Like,
At
they
least
have to
if
have
you
it
want
like
to
a
do it that,
senior.
make it a junior.
Not a junior, nobody else. You have to have like a teacher sponsor, and the senior has to be in charge.
See, the way we started is you don't need a teacher for the first year. You only need a teacher and everything if you want it to be a legitimate club. And here's the thing, the owner changed, and that's why everything changed, and that's why I could go in there and just chill out. And that's why there were people there, because everyone left last year. But everyone started hating the new leader because that's what you do when someone's in charge. They get stressed out and they have to do things that you just have to do in that kind of position, and everyone hates him for it. It's like fucking becoming president. A lot of people hate you just because you're president. Basically, I didn't really watch any of the animes. In the last section of the year, I went there to play Pokemon with people, and they were watching the school anime where everyone gets Clue and everything like that. What was the name of it? The murder one?
Danganronpa?
Yeah, it was Danganronpa. And thank God that they had it in Japanese and they just had subtitles, not dubs. Because I didn't want to know what was going on, because I like characters and I treat them as people and stuff, and I don't want to see murder porn. Because that's what it was. Everyone was like, what are you talking about? Porn? I said, no. You're all getting off on the excitement of people fucking dying and then getting everyone else killed just because they killed someone, while this crazy fucking panda demon cat thing, whatever the hell that thing was, I don't care to know, just like makes all of them do it. No! Why is that entertaining?
That actually wasn't originally an anime, it was originally a video game, which I have.
Oh my god. This fucking, like, they made the characters the fucking cutest and most awesome characters I've ever seen. Like,
I know, right?
two of the characters, one of the girls and the young kid guy whatever,
The main
like,
characters,
I fucking love them. And it was like, I don't want to see these people die. It's like in brutal ways. The fucking, like, the way they kill the murderers, who I don't even want to call them murderers because
a bunch of baseballs thrown at one person, like at fast speeds.
And then another one was like being burned alive and stuff. It was witch trials, but worse.
Like some, let me give you a primary example, and what's probably one of its famous ones is. Okay, never mind. Fine, I won't say it.
Say
it.
I remember the first.
You never want to watch an anime called Another. You never want to watch that.
Well, here's the thing. I'm fine when it's over the top. When it's over the top and just with like a nameless character or something, I'm fine with it. But when it's a character that's like built up to be fucking adorable and young, it's like, stop playing with the senses. That's not okay.
No, it's an anime where they have the cutest people. I swear to God.
Oh God. But here's the thing. Dennis, go on.
Go ahead.
God, I remember the first time I watched Elfen Lied. Have you either of you heard it?
Oh God!
That one, I watched it when I was
I feel like you're all having
11.
nightmares. Oh no, that's not bad.
I actually watched it to the end. It was pretty brutal, but like, it was like, I can't remember how many episodes it was, but I watched the entire thing. It was rather interesting and pretty brutal.
Oh God, I watched it in like 2006. I messed up, I know, but I watched it when I was like 8 or something.
Well, listen, I'm fine when things are over the top. See,
it is actually somewhat over the top, so...
Okay, but when it's, like, not built up with the character and it's just like, oh no, everyone dies, oh no. See, with Attack on Titan, they had that playing before Danganronpa. And I was watching that for a while, and I was like, oh yeah. I didn't like the scene where the guy kicked the shit out of the guy who was tied up and stuff. That was, just nonsense and just trying to attract attention to the show. Like, the problem with the murder porn was the characters weren't dying for a reason. The characters were dying because the writer wanted them to die for attention. The writer didn't care about the characters at all. And that's the bullshit. But there was a scene with Attack on Titan where it was this creepy-ass Titan who came in and was about to eat someone. And it was, like, really over the top and stuff. And I was like, it was late in the day and I was kind of derpy. So I was laughing my ass off about something and I saw that. And there are these girls sitting next to me, some of my friends. I think Laura was one of them. She'll be on a later podcast. And the thing is, she was like getting really like scared or something. Or it might have been my younger, like, freshman whose name was Emma. But they were getting like really scared and stuff because it was a creepy-ass motherfucker. And then when it opened its creepy-ass mouth, shoved the guy in, and was about to take a bite, which would prove to be a very disgusting scene, I just got in someone's ear and went, nom 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 nom, and started laughing my ass off because it was so over the top, and they were like, everyone looked at me like I was a madman that I was laughing at this scene.
Oh God!
And
they actually like one character.
But it's like, can you imagine the scene where it's like, dun 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 dun, ah, dun 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 dun, oh no, harsh, nom 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 nom. But someone's going nom 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 and laughing their ass off. Some of the people were like horrified, and then they started getting so pissed off because I was laughing.
I read the manga of Attack on Titan.
Oh boy, that sounds fun.
I can tell you right now, spoiler to everyone who's listening.
Oh no, don't say it then, because I don't want people to skip around.
Well, I'm sorry. Skip like 20 seconds ahead, but I think that the person in charge actually does love Eren, the main character, so...
Kind of a spoiler, yeah.
Kind of a spoiler.
I guess if people cared that much, at that vague whatever
And
it was...
And Levi...
okay, dude, stop, just stop. If people
Okay.
cared enough, they would have skipped ahead by the thing, whatever.
I didn't say they would die or not.
Oh my god! You don't even mention that when you're doing my spoiler, okay? Do you want to get into spoiler ethics? You don't say whether or not...
Spoiler alert, everyone dies in the end because they get old.
Hey, that's not true in a lot of animes.
Oh yeah.
And some animes, people die more than once.
Dragon
Yodo.
Ball Z.
Yodo.
Or I was thinking something else, but anyway. Oh no, spoilers for Deep Z.
You can't really spoil an anime.
I
It's
can't
really
fucking
spoil it.
10 years old.
What's his name is Ghost. No, nobody gets that one.
Spoiler alert, he was phone.
It's
Yeah,
his
yeah,
father
anymore.
in the end.
Well, why don't we just say spoilers that are completely
Spoiler
obscure?
alert, your rival is the champion. And on that topic, do we want to talk about how terrible Gen 1 is?
Gen 1 isn't that bad, though.
What? Okay,
Snape
I'm talking,
kills Voldemort.
consider everything. Consider the story, consider the built-in world, and consider the actual cartridge. Don't consider the anime. Anime is not canon. Besides,
I was talking about
The cartridge?
the game's battle system is actually very simple.
Oh, no. The game's battle system was horrible because it was A, unbalanced, and B, stat-wise unbalanced, because they only have one stat for defense, the defense stat, which means that a Rhydon would be able to take a Psychic from a Hypno really, really well. When today we know that Rhydon has one of the worst special defense stats in the game. It's like 20 or 40. And it would go down instantly no matter how high its defense is. They didn't have special defense, they only had special, which was apparently special attack. And they still had special types, not special moves. Okay? But get this. The Psychic type was unbalanced. Its only weakness in the early development was to bug. And the only bug move that was over 15 base power was Twin Needle, which was exclusive to, not Heracross, but, Pinsir, I think. Or someone. Point being, exclusive move. So Psychic had no weaknesses. So they're like, okay, let's make a type that is strong against Psychic. They made Ghost. And then they gave it Poison typing, those fucking weak to Psychic. Where's the fucking They didn't even make Ghost resist Psychic. They just made Ghost Poison the only Ghost.
Yeah, but also, not about that, but also the actual battling is actually really simple.
Yes, it's too simple, because you go to the Elite Four and things still have Tackle. And Poison Sting. And Leer. Have you looked at the movesets on those things? They don't have powerful moves. They just have basic shit. They don't even use TMs half the time.
So, do you guys have like a designated team that you like to share?
Team? Like a Pokemon team?
Just
Like our
Pokemon
OU
team.
teams? Okay.
What are your preferred teams?
Well, my OU team is, I love it very much. It has my favorite wall ever, a Porygon 2 with Eviolite. His name is Dew. French word for two. I have my Charizard X, my Mega, because Megas are fun. Who has, basically he's bulky, he has Roost and Thunder Punch. And then I have my Azumarill with a Lychee Berry and a Belly Jet set, so in case the Belly Drum fails, Lychee Berry might help. And then I have my awesome Breloom, come from the grave of my Ruby Nuzlocke, named Barry. Spore, Leech Seed, all that stuff, Technician, Focus Sash, Mach Punch. And then in the backup, I have a Porygon Z, named, I forget his name. But Porygon Z with Adaptability, Tri-Attack, Agility, Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, and a Focus Sash. Best counter to Aegis Slash you'll ever see. Was that 6?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm kind of...
It's
kind of a bad topic at this point, actually, for me, because I'm kind of new to this very competitive battling stuff.
Oh yeah, you're still just...
I've always been
a
very mainstream Pokemon person, which is kind of sad. And I've kind of joined it like at the last second.
You shouldn't get into competitive battling as a kid, because, you know, when you're a kid, you're stuck on like one side or the other. You either play totally for fun or you play totally for winning.
I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah, we all should be a little bit in the middle, or all the way on the fun side. Nobody should be all the way on the competitive side, because then you're just playing a numbers game. If you want to play numbers games, that's fine. Fuck, words. If you want to play a game where it's just numbers, comparing that's fine. You don't want to play Pokemon, then don't play Pokemon! Play a chat emulator.
Can I say my team?
Oh,
so
sure.
So for Gen 3, my last Pokemon that I pretty much beat the Elite Four with, except for Latias, which is now my team. It was Gardevoir. I had Swampert. Wait, it was either Swampert or Marshtomp.
It was
definitely Swampert. It was Swampert. Yeah,
and 3 Reggies.
Yeah, I had all 3 Reggies, and Latias, of course. So.
Wait, who was your 6th in the original?
Huh?
Who
before
was your
Latias?
6th member? Yeah, before Latias.
Oh, I had
Oh yeah. Tropius.
Tropius, sorry.
Yeah.
I was actually If I was so stupid, I fucking caught what's it called? I can't remember. Relicanth with fucking Master Ball because I was an idiot, and then I didn't get Kyogre. So.
Hey. Okay. I caught a Soul Rock with my brother's Master Ball, because I thought it was rare. Jacob?
Yeah?
Have you ever used a Master Ball on something stupid?
Yes, actually.
What'd you use it on?
Oh, God.
Master Ball's anonymous.
Oh, I really don't want to say it.
Do it! I said it was a Soul Rock! He said it was a Relicanth!
I used it on a
Litwick! In Gen 5?
Not joking!
Oh my god.
Oh boy! That's the most common catch there!
I know.
Oh boy!
At the time, I can tell you, at the time, I thought it was a super rare Pokemon.
That wasn't that long ago!
I know. I mean, at the time, I was playing the game for the first time.
See, I thought that Pokemon games had certain areas where you could only catch a Pokemon once. I thought there was 1 Routes in Gen 3, and I thought there was 1 Gible in Gen 4. Only 1.
Well, I can't say they're... It's definitely hard to get routes. Because you have to be in one specific area where Wiley was.
Yeah, Wally, actually. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Wally,
sorry.
Here's the thing. I was training the Wynot you get in Gen 3, okay? I was training it in that area. I didn't know you could catch routes anywhere in the game. So my Wynot, I was doing switch out. I was doing put him in, switch him out, all that stuff. And his only attack was Charm. And I encountered a Routes, whose only attack is Growl. So, the thing is, I couldn't leave because the Routes had traced my Shadow Tag. So I couldn't switch out. And it couldn't run away.
Let
So
me
it
see if I
went down to a struggle battle, and I won.
Let me see if I have my team from Gen 3. I'm gonna look.
It was so bad. It was so depressing because I didn't think about Pokeballs. Because I didn't, like, I don't know what I was thinking. I might have had no Pokeballs at the time, but I just sat there spamming A until this Routes fainted, and I was so depressed because I thought it was the only Routes in the game. I was like 8 or 7.
Wow, really?
It was a long time ago, dude. It was my
I don't remember.
first time ever
I don't remember the
playing
first
game.
time I played.
No, it was the first time I played, because the first time I played was on my brother's account. And I totally did everything the little brother does. But on my own account, that was the only time I ever encountered the Routes.
Okay, I don't remember. I only remember like 3 Pokemon of my team in Gen 3, and my whole team of Gen 5.
Mm-hmm.
My 3 Pokemon in Gen 3 were mainly. I actually 3-team 4 thing. Ended up.
Let's try to get back on a topic, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, here's one. So, people may be asking why Dennis's team was Gen 3. You see, there are Gen 1ers. There are Gen 1-2ers. But never in my life before I met Dennis had I ever come across a Gen 3er. Now, I love Gen 3, and I think it is either... I don't think it's the best generation, but I think it's the second best. And I think that... well, I used to think it was the second best. Now I think it might be the third best. Well, I don't know about Gen 6. Point being, I thought Gen 4 was the best, and Gen 3 was the second best. I praise Gen 3 as a really, really great and nostalgic game. Dennis here has not played any games except for Sapphire. Now he's entitled to his opinion, but he loves all Gen 3 Pokemon. But he hates every other generation so much that he won't even consider the Gen 6 Mega Evolutions and completely hates Mega Gardevoir, even though we know how much you love Gardevoir. You even made an Ask blog for a Gardevoir. But you don't like the Mega.
Don't like the Mega. It's a disappointment.
So,
It just gets a bigger dress.
are you gonna get the remake of the Gen 3 games?
You know
No.
you won't.
I won't because I'm not gonna buy a 3DS.
Well, that's a legitimate reason.
That's
If there was
a
an
legitimate
emulator,
reason.
would you play it? Would you
I don't
play it
know.
in an emulator?
I'm more of a Gen 4.
How would I play a 3DS game on an emulator?
No, I'm
until,
just
like,
saying, if someone gave you a 3DS in the game, would you play it, or would you just be like, no, I don't care, it's Gen 6? Because it is a Gen 6 game.
I'd play it for like... I wouldn't keep it. I wouldn't keep playing it. I wouldn't play it for a long time.
Because you wouldn't want to see a Mega Metagross. Even though we've all been wanting Mega Metagross for so long. Every other Gen 3 fanboy in the world, and fangirl, wanted that. And you don't. Have you seen Mega Metagross?
No, I haven't.
It's amazing!
Metagross was a really big challenge in the Elite Four. Like,
Hell yeah, he was.
fucking wrecked you. He wrecked your shit if you didn't have a Metagross. So, like, you'd have to go to the house on that island, and I believe Steve
Get
gave
his
it to you.
Beldum. Yep, Steven gave you the Beldum.
Steven.
Well, you're a Gen 3 fanboy. Only like Gen 3. And you get all these names wrong. I'm teasing you. I'm being an asshole, but it's funny. But Gen 1 was just so bad. We can all admit that, right?
You should tease my brother. He's a Gen 4 only person.
Really? Wow, so many of these people exist.
Well,
Now
he
here's-
used to be at least.
Okay, has he played Gen 6?
Now he's every gen. But at the time,
Good, nice.
like 3 years ago, he said,
Well, you were kids back then.
like 3 years ago. He's 13. That's actually
Oh,
pretty close.
wow, that's not, yeah.
I mean,
What did
but
he say?
anyway, he said, Diamond is the best Pokemon game. Every other Pokemon game is shit.
Now, here's the thing about that.
He doesn't say, even Pokemon that were featured from previous generations in Gen 4 are terrible.
Oh, shit. That's backwards. That's funny.
I was like, what?
Yeah, no, I ran into a Gen 1er who was my age at a fair I went to. It was the weirdest. It's so weird. Here's the thing. If you lined up every other generation, I know some things would be better just inherently, but if you only took what they added and not what they brought along from the past, even when Gen 1 introduced all the original stuff, other generations would still have introduced more. Because so much from Gen 1 was redone. The entire typing system was redone. All the bugs and stuff that were in Generation 1 wouldn't count to the other generations. Here's what was added in the coming generations. Generation 2 added held items. It added special defense and special attack instead of just special. It added breeding. And it added legendaries that actually have something to do with the plot. It added an actual plot. That was interesting. It added a rival that actually did more than just be an asshole. It had gym leaders that did shit outside of their gyms. And it added a complete redo of the entire first games. The entire Kanto region was redone 3 years in the future. So not only was Gen 2 one game, it was 2 games in one. And it had an even better, and it had a post-game trainer, not just a post-game battle. Instead of Mewtwo, it had Ash. Red. I was about to say Red, not Ash, and I said fucking Ash. People who call Red Ash Mewtwo. But yeah, Generation 3, it added abilities. And some new breeding stuff with the incenses, egg moves. Gen 2 also added shinies and Pokerus. Gen 3 added a more insane, the first plot that actually had to do with the apocalypse. And 2 evil teams instead of 1. Along with a whole slew of new Pokemon completely unique to that region. Not to mention, it made the Dark type and Steel type, which were introduced in Generation 2, actually good. Because in Generation 2, all you had was Steelix, Magnemite, and Skarmory, which you couldn't even find Skarmory in most of the game. People think that Skarmory is a Gen 3 Pokemon because they see it more in Gen 3 than Gen 2. And there were only like 2 or 3 different lines of Dark types. Gen 3 added so many cool Dark types. Jacob?
Yeah?
I thought you said something earlier.
I didn't say anything.
What did Gen 4 add, for example?
Well, other than new variants of the Pokeball.
Yeah, well, Gen 2 added about the same, but they didn't carry over. Gen 2 added... Yeah,
moves were not designated physical or special
physical and
based on the
special
move
moves.
itself.
The best change to the game since Dark and Steel type. Oh my god. It was such a big change. Plus, Gen 3 added berry farming, Gen 2 added berries, but it was different. Gen 3, however, it added the first amazing good remakes and the first evolutions of past Pokemon and stuff.
There's also like status moves.
Yeah, and it had the first main story where you would fight an enemy, not in the post-game, that would reach level 70, and it had an amazing post-game. It still had room for a post-game after level 70. The post-game in Gen 2 was at level 50. That's how quick the game was.
Also added new evolutions to Eevee, Magmar, Electabuzz.
Yep, all sorts of crazy stuff. But, I mean, add the same amount.
It was actually the first Pokemon game to have 3-dimensional rendering.
Yeah, that was also a technological leap. The leap from every generation was huge. But what was amazing about Gen 4 was not just Diamond and Sapphire and Platinum. It was Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Which, to date, in terms of actual games, to play completely on your own, to play Gen 6, to play X and Y, you need to know a lot of shit about other generations. Because the story isn't impressive. It's not the most impressive game ever. It has a great story, and that has great progression and everything. But if you look at the map, You're just walking a big pentagon. You're walking a big circle. It's extremely linear, and the whole point of the game is to beat the game and then access the PSS. And, do post-game stuff, and do wonder trading, and do breeding, and do the Safari thing, and all that stuff. And
can we talk about what Gen 5 added?
In a sec. The thing about why I think that X and Y are great in generation, but not great in game, is because even though it has the 3D and everything like that, it's not as... Most of the stuff in it revolves around you interacting with other players. If you want an amazing Pokemon experience that's just wired down to just you, just your game, if you want emulator or something, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I think, are the best core Pokemon games for what Pokemon is all about. Because Gen 2's story is all about the casual player beating the competitive players. Take the Dragon Gym leader, for example. C-name or something.
She got ticked.
Huh?
Nothing.
But Gen 2 has one of the best stories ever. It has no problems with the battling because it has special and physical moves. The only problem is that Steel still resists Dark and Ghost, and there's no Fairy type, but it still works. There are almost no flaws in that game, is the cool part. And it's the longest Pokemon game ever in existence, and it has the biggest cast of diversity in the game, because you can go back and fight the gym leaders again, and they have Gen 4 Pokemon instead of just Gen 2. It is an amazing game. I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver are one of the best games, or probably the best games ever made up to this point.
That Heart Gold and Soul Silver, according to Metacritic and game rankings, are considered the most critically acclaimed Pokemon games.
They're so
other
good.
than Emerald. Other than Emerald, it is considered the most critically acclaimed.
Yeah. Oh god.
And which is actually incredible, considering that critics judge it based on, all right, what does this add compared to the previous game? Should I really get this game? It's just a rehash. And they said it was incredible.
Because Gen 2 still had a lot of the Gen 1 stuff. It had a lot of the Gen 3 stuff. You still had Dark and Psychic, but your only Dark type you could really get was an Umbreon. Honestly. You weren't going to find any of the other stuff off the bat. You get an Eevee in the game, and you can make it into an Umbreon.
Can we talk about Gen 5?
Yeah, Gen 5 now. You want to take charge?
Now,
Oh, Dennis! You're fucking Dennis. Well, you have nothing to talk about on this. You're just gonna shit on
I'm
everything.
just sitting here. I'm
sorry.
I'm playing video games right now. I'm sorry. That was really rude of me.
Sport.
No, I mean, I have nothing to talk about. You're talking about Pokemon right now. You think I know anything about Pokemon?
Fuck, I haven't been playing this.
Okay,
Anyway.
so I'm going to be a little biased here because when I played Gen 5, I loved it. Especially as I grew up. It's probably the only game that I actually got new into the competitive battling and all that. But anyway, I thought it had one of the best Pokemon stories ever. That's very unique. Like it had the first thing where you thought, is Pokemon good with the person? It was just really unique. I'd never heard of it before. And it also had new battling systems like triple battles and rotation battles.
Which people hate. I like them, but people hate them.
Why do people hate
them? Out of the triple battles added great strategy.
Wait, hold up. Dennis, you like the idea of a triple or a rotation battle?
I like double battles, but I don't know what a triple battle is.
It's same thing, 3 Pokemon. Which means that if you're all the way on the left, you can't hit the Pokemon all the way on the right, unless you have certain moves like Fly or Air Slash. Some moves hit all Pokemon around you.
I was just talking about the double battles that they had in Gen 3.
Yeah. Triple battles are...
There's also
bigger than
rotation
double
battles.
Rotation battles are where it's 3v3, but you play one at a time, and you can switch and then attack.
It's completely strategic. You can switch before you attack. It's insanely strategic. That's why, actually, probably why people hate them is because they're not as streamlined as regular battles.
Yeah, because people find it too difficult or something.
Well, and I thought it was incredible. I mean, wow, whole new meta that you can never...
And yet there's no support for it on Showdown. No support for it.
My brother just came in, listened to a conversation, and said because they don't know how to use their brain.
No, they just use their brain differently. Okay.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Not to get into a bit of ProgressCast part of this is
What?
Well, I want to get back to ProgressCast for a bit and lean off Pokemon because that reminds me of something. Okay, have you ever been called smart by someone? Either of you?
Not really.
Dennis?
What?
Have you ever been called smart by someone? Like a kid or something? Or one of your peers?
Yeah, I've been called smart.
Yeah,
but
okay, that's just what I was looking for. But here's what I said.
I've
I
also
think
been called
that,
stupid.
Well, everyone has.
Exactly.
I think that you shouldn't call people smart. Because what about the person who's not being called smart? When you call someone smart, you're calling everyone else dumb. At least on some degree. It's fucking religious. It's appraising. It's putting you above other people, which I don't like.
What?
You shouldn't call people smart. It's an insult to everyone else. You want to... Because saying someone's smart in the classic sense is saying, oh, you have a bigger brain than me. Oh, you're smarter than me. People say that I'm smarter than them and stuff. When I don't like that because I think that you should just say that this person uses their brain in that sense. Their brain is wired to this thing. And everyone else's brains are wired to other stuff. And there's a scale. Some people think more for themselves and some people are more instinctual.
And then there are people on the Jersey Shore.
I don't exactly agree with you.
Well, get this, okay? Someone can have the same, like, physical size of their brain and everything. Some people can act completely independent of everything else in their life. Or to very... What? What? Doing a podcast.
Thing is,
alright.
ignoring the fact that some people are stupid is a little bit...
Well, it's not that people are stupid. People aren't stupid. People just use less of their brain for themselves, and more of their brain is dedicated to instinctual stuff.
Or sometimes they want to self-gratify themselves. They want to boost their ego, and they don't care about everything else. It's not about...
If someone uses their brain differently, that doesn't make them less intelligent. If someone doesn't go to college and has a construction job, like one of my friend's brothers, didn't go to college, has a construction job, and they're perfectly fine, and instead of saving money for college, they're saving money for a house, because that's their life is set. Their brain is not hardwired for philosophy. They know, but, however, while I can know a shit ton of philosophy and stuff, and Pokemon and whatever, a level of that they will never understand, they know construction whatever and slang and all that stuff to a level I don't understand. Everyone has their own niche. Just because someone's niche is thought of as lesser in society doesn't mean that it's stupider. It just means that it's a different thing.
It's all about DNA.
Huh?
It's all about DNA, how people are wired. It's all about how personality works.
You can get wired through how you're raised and everything like that. And here's the thing, okay? I feel that if I had enough time, I could learn anything I wanted to learn. If I had time and if I wasn't lazy. If I could completely invest myself in stuff, I could learn whatever. Because I've dabbled in stuff and I think that I would really like a bunch of stuff. I just can't invest myself in one thing. But my brain is hardwired and into just thinking about stuff, overthinking, overanalysis, analysis, not even the over part. And that means that I can, that I like to think about stuff. And I like to delve into things that people normally wouldn't think about. Just because if everyone I hung around with, if all of you people were exactly the same kind of brain as me, and all thought about stuff, then it wouldn't be right to say that people who don't think the way we do are dumb, because that goes against everything in progressivism.
Progressivism?
Yeah, accepting new things and not being traditional. Anti-traditionalism, not doing things just because they already exist, but doing things because they make sense. And another part of my idea of progressivism is if you were in that situation.
Thing is,
Okay, go on.
like, what if somebody didn't do something because it made sense? Maybe it didn't make sense. Would they be smart? I don't know.
What you do has nothing to do with your intelligence. What you do with your brain has something to do with your spectrum. We all are humans, and we all have the same core styles of the brain, and some people's brains are literally damaged. But what the thing is it's like when you have a circuit. The same energy always goes into the circuit, and the same energy always comes out, no matter which path it goes down. If you have different resistors set up for two different paths, one that we label conscious thinking and one that we label instincts, maybe for us, we could have 70% conscious thinking, 30% instincts. Maybe for someone else, they could have 50% conscious thinking, 50% instincts. Now, for someone who has a condition, and maybe their brain is physically damaged from an accident, or maybe they're genetically damaged, like a person with mental retardation, totally not being insensitive or anything, I'm just stating something, they would be very heavy on the instinctual part, because they can't help it, but that doesn't mean they have less intelligence, and it just means that more brain power is put in the spinal cord and less in the cerebrum. And that's why people who have mental retardation, like the integrated kids in my school, are very instinctual and, ape-like. It's not an insult, it's just you're more to the instinctual side. People who get offended by things really easily, or people who defend everything they were raised with, conservative traditional people, are more instinctual. Their body defends them with defense mechanisms. The reason why someone insults gay people because of the way they're raised is because their body knows that their way of life is anti-gay people, and there's these people trying to change that, and the brain can't keep up with that, and they won't think about it, so the body says, you're right, I need to defend the brain, because the brain, when the brain's defending the body, that's more like us, and when the body's defending the brain, that's more like people we would normally call stupid. So it would be defense mechanisms are the body keeping the mind as it's always right, I'm always right, it's a kind of cocky thing, to defend it. It's a biological thing. Does any of that make sense?
Doesn't mean they're right.
Yeah.
But it means they're right in their own mind because their body is changing that. They're not acting of consciousness, they're acting of their instincts.
That's also something called ignorance.
Yes.
Not considering other things is ignorance.
But there's different ignorance. There's intelligent ignorance, where someone chooses to ignore something and be ignorant to something, and then there's instinctual ignorance, which is the body's decision, and it's just self-preservation. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's not the person's fault. It's how their body has more control over them than the brain. That makes sense?
Yeah. I have another topic.
Sure, I just want to say one thing before we do. I don't appreciate when these flame mobs come up against someone who says something anti-homophobic or whatever, when they just heard it somewhere and repeated it because they have a defense mechanism. The whole hate with hate thing. People who think that they're, people who think that they're more on the opposite side of something, less traditional, will backlash in the same way. It'll still be a defense mechanism. It's not that people are stupider, it's just that people are less conscious, less aware of themselves. And if we want to change our definition of stupid to that, and not meaning less intelligence, if we want intelligence to mean the percentage, then sure. But right now, people who call people stupid think that they literally have less brain power, when they don't. It's a spectrum.
I agree.
Your topic?
I can't say I agree.
I have, it's kind of a nitpicky topic, and we don't have to do it, but I wanted to talk about politics.
Go for it. Let's get it all out.
I want to talk about our government.
Well, you heard what I said at the end of my recording, right? The hour-long special?
Yeah.
Dennis, did you see the hour-long special?
I went halfway through it before I stopped.
Okay. Well, in the last half of it, I did this. I thought about this, okay? Because of reasons that I pick up from, what... Oh, God damn it. From what I hear and stuff, and all sorts of things. Just had to spell something. I feel like Hillary Clinton is a shoo-in for the next election because the Tea Party is getting a lot of representation. And you know about John Boehner, right? One of you, at least? Who was the head of the House of Representatives?
Yeah.
Republican guy, completely against everything Obama does, whether you like Obama or not. Here's the thing. He lost his position because he was so obsessed with his high-up position, he's the third highest person in our government, that he wasn't focusing on his small-town elections that hold him as a position as a representative in the first place. You can't be the head of the House of Representatives if you're not a representative of something. And this little, nobody knows who he is guy who's a Tea Partier won the election in John Boehner's region and kicked John Boehner out of the House. And because people weren't paying attention. And now people are like, oh God, the Tea Party can actually do stuff, and they might have an actual, they might put up a president for election. They might put up someone to become president, and they'll all vote for him. Here's the thing. When you have a third party, it's usually on one side or the other, more leaning towards Democrats, more leaning towards Republicans, or more leaning towards progressive or conservative. Here's the thing, though. Tea Party is clearly further on the right side, and actually all the way to the right. And what that does is it takes hardcore conservatives and more liberal conservatives and splits them. So it takes away from the Republican vote. It takes more Republicans over to the Tea Party side and more Republicans over to the Democrat side. And it splits them. Which means that that's less representation for a Republican candidate. And, third parties have only won once in our history, so the Tea Party president isn't going to get in. So all that the Tea Party is doing, by putting up a president for election, is making the Democratic Party unchallenged. Because how many people are going to vote for Hillary Clinton? First female president, she's a grandma, and she's Bill Clinton's, all that stuff. So what I think is, why I'm talking about her is, if she goes in for 2 terms, that means that the next time we actually have to think about presidential elections seriously is in 10 years. 2 years after Obama's done, 8 years of Hillary. And that's what's cool. Think about who will be ready and who will be the age where they can become president in 10 years. You guys know how old you have to be a president? To run for president?
I think it was like 30. Hmm? 30.
Yeah, 30 to 40s or whatever. And usually our presidents are at least 40 years old. Let's say you have to be 40 to be a president, okay? Think about what generation will reach 40 in 10 years, in the year 2024. Think about who's the oldest person you know from the internet generation. Any names? For me, I think the oldest person who kind of understands the internet generation would be Jamie Hyman and the rest of the guys at Tested.com, who started off as the Mythbusters, okay? But I don't think they're really in that kind of spirit all the way. The oldest person who's really hardcore in the internet culture, think about Bernie Burns. He's what, 34? Think about someone Bernie Burns' age who knows all the stuff Bernie Burns knows, but is in politics, who would be 44 at the time. Think about how many people on the internet would vote for someone from the internet generation who's been on Tumblr and all this stuff, who's seen the NES turn into the Nintendo 3DS.
A lot.
Those are the kind of people we could be elected. And, like, that would be amazing. Thinking about the next serious election of nobodies could be an internet celebrity. Is that not fucking cool?
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
If an internet celebrity got elected president, which could totally happen, like, we would never have to worry about net neutrality. Because the president would always veto it.
Then
now
again,
we would still have...
there's another problem is, in order to be a president, you need to have some sort of law background, isn't that right?
It's not required. It just earns you more representation if you're a senator or if you're a representative. Dennis? Tell me
I'm not talking because nothing to say about politics.
But is it exciting, the idea of an internet celebrity?
I have another topic of politics. I wasn't really thinking about that sort of thing.
Think about also think of how old we will be in 10 years. In 2024?
26, 27,
27? So, if you have to be 30, whatever, our older siblings would be the age where they could get into government. And our older siblings are part of this generation. My older siblings used AOL when they were younger. And upload videos to YouTube as squeakers. And played on original Xbox. Like, the internet generation is going to get this kind of traction. And it's going to be cool. This is why it's called ProgressCast. Progressive kind of concepts. And this is why it's featuring the internet, because we talked about all that shit in the beginning.
Yes.
Is that not a cool idea?
Yeah.
You think we came all this way from Mystery Anime Theater 2000?
Yeah.
3000.
2000. My anime.
Is it 2000 or is it 3000?
It's 2000.
It's definitely 3000.
Mystery Science Theater.
You said 3000, but whatever.
I feel like Mystery Science 3000 makes more sense because it's TH. Oh well. That's a really old series. I don't know if people even get that. Anyway, I think maybe we should wrap it up now. So basically, with the YouTube version of this, there's not really much to show in the background. So, if you want to be on the show, you can hit me up on Skype and everything. I'll put everyone's contacts in the descriptions. But if you want your art to be featured on here, you can come on and have your art featured on the YouTube version to just scroll by as people watch this.
Having a YouTube channel helps.
Yeah. This is going up on Tumblr, YouTube, and SoundCloud, but the video version is only going up on YouTube. So there's not really much to show. But unless people want to put, their collages and stuff into the video version so that people will watch it there. So yeah, any last things?
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Rusty, but I think that'll be good.
We didn't get really much what I wanted to talk about, but it's fine.
Well, okay. What's one thing you want to talk about real quick?
Well, I was kind of talking about, it's kind of a nitpicky thing, but I want to say what's wrong with the United States right now. And it wasn't the government.
We all know. All the Tumblr people we know all know. I'm going to take a guess here, okay? Public education system, sex education, college, and healthcare.
No, I said what was wrong with...
Yeah, that is what's wrong, is those things are bad and in bad
I was
condition.
thinking more of uneven economic development.
I'm saying, like, okay, but what I was saying was not that those ideas were bad, but the way the United States handled those is horrible. But getting better with, Obama and stuff. Go on.
Well, the major problem with the United States right now is, I'm pretty sure all of you have heard of it, is like the 99%, 1% thing.
Yep.
Yeah, you've all heard that?
Yeah.
And the amount of imperialism we have in other countries. We interfere with a lot of countries, which isn't...
Are you talking about Bush interference, or are you talking about,
We're
other kind of
still interfering. Have you heard about the case in South Sudan? Or Ukraine?
South Sudan? Ukraine? Just elaborate.
Well, for example, in South Sudan, there's this huge civil war going on in Sudan, and this is it's more of a discrimination thing versus the North and the South, and basically we finally found the United States stepped in, and we made like this for the South. We divided them from Sudan with
What decade?
the United Nations, and we created South Sudan, and we thought, and we helped them give a government and left.
Wait, which decade is this?
Like 2010, it was really unheard. You probably never heard it, even though it was actually big news.
You still draw a fucking line? How dumb are people? It didn't.
Well,
work in
anyway,
every other country that did that.
well, for that reason, it wasn't a bad reason. But what happened after is we just left, leaving them with the whole government thing.
Yeah.
Civil war happened.
Yeah.
We created the government for them, and civil war happened.
And you wonder why they probably left so soon?
And majorly, in the case of Ukraine, I believe we gave arms to one side, and we interfered with Russia, basically.
Yep.
In a nutshell. And basically,
well, Ukraine is fucked up. Ukraine is getting invaded by Russia at some point, which is terrifying.
yeah.
Ukraine is... Oh, God, Ukraine. Fucking Lenin. Just keel over, man.
Ukraine isn't as bad of a country.
No, I'm not saying Ukraine is bad. I'm saying Ukraine is fucked.
Russia.
Being next... Yeah. Fucking... Not even Russia, just Putin.
Another
We're
thing
talking
I've
about a
been
place that
looking...
needs progressivism. Fucking Russia needs progressivism.
Probably the major topic I was... indexed, I was like ranking countries from like worst to best and corruptness and a bunch of factors.
Well,
How good
it's
is
not
the
always the
country?
country's fault. It's people that completely control them with money.
Yeah.
Corporations are not people, my friend.
It has like
people.
based off like a huge amount of factors, like how corrupt is it? Who are the people in charge doing for money? Is people who voted effectively?
I think this is all stuff that people on Tumblr already know. And yeah, some people don't like hearing things twice. Some people do. But I think we've run really far on time on this.
All right, yeah, I'm done, and I'm tired too.
Yeah, I'm tired. What time is it? Okay. Well, probably an hour and 20 minutes or something. Yeah. How do we end this? I didn't plan the ending.
Alright, we'll see you next time. Please comment.
Hello.
Oh God! Do not say the.
I'm joking.
Rate comment. I just said rate. How old am I?
Share this among friends.
I was gonna talk about Google Plus.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to talk about Google Plus.
Well, don't do what he did and make your YouTube channel your full name. When Google Plus makes you make a Google Plus account, they make you make a Google Plus account for your full name.
You can still change your name, by the way.
And then, though, you can make a new account for your channel. You have two accounts. One for your personal thing, which you never use, and then one for your thing that's YouTube. And that's how you make your that's how you change your username for your channel. And still keep your channel.
Yeah. So can we end this?
Yeah, I guess so. You'll be seeing a lot of Jacob. He is totally into this. And next time it may be just a progress cast and not a featuring the internet. Or maybe it will be. But just look out for that stuff.
I'm glad we had this conversation.
Alright, see you.
I'm glad to do more of these in the future.
Hope we talk about cool stuff.
Yes. Video games.
I realized, that'd be fun if you had a theme song.
Stop the recording.
Wait, no, that's fucking Star Wars. I started off as a Sapphire fucking title theme, and that turned into Star Wars. What the hell happened? Oh, this is going on forever. See ya.
Bye.
Oh, and there's a blooper at the end of this. Oh, that blooper. Goodbye, everybody!
Bye.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to ProgressCast, featuring... What the fuck is that? Dennis, are you saying your name in Morse code? Anyone else hearing?
I am hearing
David?
you.
Are you hearing Dennis?
No, it just showed blue. It just kept...
Oh, no! Oh, that's a blooper reel.